What's up, world? Peace, unity, love, prosperity. Pope, peace. What's up, love? Welcome to the Think Better, Live Better casting. I am I and I am I. Thanks for joining me today in this new day from the reading of The Language of Letting Go. We're reading January 2nd's insert, which is titled Healthy Limits, right? Whoa, limits. So here we go. It reads, boundaries are vital to recovery. Having and setting healthy limits is connected to all phases of recovery. Growing in self-esteem, dealing with feelings, and learning to really love and value ourselves. Boundaries emerge from deep within. They are connected to letting go of guilt and shame, and to changing our beliefs about what we deserve. As our thinking about this becomes clearer, so will our boundaries. Boundaries are also connected to a higher timing than our own. We'll set a limit when we're ready and not a moment before. So will others. There's something magical about reaching that point of becoming ready to set a limit. We know we mean what we say. Others take us seriously too. Things change not because we're controlling others, but because we've changed. Ashe. And in closing, it says, today, I will trust that I will learn, grow, and set the limits I need in my life at my own pace. This timing need only be right for me. Ashe, 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 huh? Healthy limits and boundaries. I mean, all I have to say is that set your boundaries and watch others respect your boundaries, watch for those that are respecting your boundaries and watch for those who are not respecting your boundaries, and continue to keep your boundaries and don't move them. Not for anyone else, but for yourself. If you need to move them for you, then yes, that's for you. But like you said, you will set them when you need to set them, and you will move them when you need to remove them. So boundaries are very healthy. I think I used to be very boundless, and I had no boundaries for myself, and I had no boundaries for others. And and now I'm reaping the benefits of it, right? I'm starting to realize that there are very healthy boundaries that have to be set, and as far as circulating time, with others. Sometimes we give ourselves over to others for too long. It's like, and I just come up with it just come to me, right, how I used to work for a certain company, and these certain companies would always they hire you for 8 hours or 10 or 12 hours of work, and then you come in and you work your shift, and then they say there's a mandatory overtime, right? And they push that mandatory overtime to you, so you're like, if I leave, I'm probably going to get fired or, penalized for leaving. So I'll stay so I don't be penalized. But then staying is a violation of your boundaries, right? Because you've signed up for 12 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever you sign up for. And there's nobody in this company that should be mandatory or making you or forcing you or telling you that it's something that you have to do, in order to satisfy them, right? So that's a very unhealthy boundary, right? Because if my boundary for you today was to give you 12 hours and you push me towards that boundary, not by my own volunteer, not by me volunteering and saying, hey, I want to work past this, but you force me, by threatening my job, and telling me I have to stay over 12 hours in order for you to reach a certain number. And so those are boundaries that we have to set and we have to stick to, because like I said, for said company, I was always the one to leave. They had it set up to where you could use your time, for these times. So I definitely use my time in order to leave at the times that I want to leave, because there's no such thing as mandatory overtime to me. Nobody can make me work a minute over the time that I've allotted them to have my time. I've allotted them this time. I've allowed them to have me this time. And if they're going to abuse it by forcing me to stay, by threatening my job or whatever, so that's what I'm saying. So that's just an example of boundaries, that should be honored by you. When you set those boundaries for yourself, when you say I'm not working 8 hours today, I'm only working 8 hours and I'm not working anymore, then do that. Go home, right? And when you say I'm not working tomorrow, and they call you in and you go, don't go. Don't go. Keep your boundaries. Boundaries are important, because the more you go, the more they expect you to come. The more they can call you at home or force you or threaten your job for you to stay over and you go for that shit. They just like, hey, they went. Yeah, you went for it. Yeah, and you're like, fuck this job, and then you plotting to quit and blah blah blah. But I'm just saying, just set your healthy limits, your healthy boundaries. Have fun, love life. Just and I guess don't let people or things or whatever run rampant in your life. And you know, and also, I've also been the one to kind of push people boundaries, right? People have things that they don't want to do. I've never forced nobody to do anything, but I showed up doing me, right? And for them, that was past their boundaries. And at first the ego kicks in, but then I had to realize that I had to apologize, because I was forcing them into a situation that they didn't want to be in. They wanted to be more secretive about what the type of activities or whatever that I was indulging in with them, but they didn't want certain other people to see them indulge in these activities. So and at first it was like that for me, like, oh, they're shameful. But no, I really realized that it was just boundaries. They have certain boundaries that they didn't want to cross, and I crossed it not knowing. I literally did not know that this was the case. I didn't know about the boundary. But once I found out about the boundary, I apologized. And that person was still upset, and it's okay. It's okay, because in the same sense, as friends or as people loving on one another, there is sometimes it's boundless to me. Sometimes, I feel like I can do anything and everything with certain people. And not that they shouldn't feel, the way they feel. I want them to feel the way they feel, because love comes with respect. So I respect everybody. It's just, you just always gotta let people know your boundaries, right? You gotta tell people. But anyway, love you guys. Have the best of best days. I didn't think this was gonna be this long, but anyway, healthy limits, healthy life, healthy wife, healthy life. What they say, yeah. Divine feminine, divine masculine. Pieces and praises and love to you guys. Remember, one in peace, uniting with others in peace and in love. Prosperity is inevitable. Thank you for joining me. Have a good day. Love you.